President of the Nigerian Bar Association and the governorship candidate of the Labour Party in Edo State in the last governorship election in the state, Mr. Olumide Osaibovo Akpata. Thank you so much indeed for joining us tonight.
Hi, Seun.
Good to see you.
Good to see you again. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, yeah. You escaped death by the whiskey season.
I might not put it in those terms, but I was in harm's way. There's no doubt. I was alongside other persons. We were in harm's way. Definitely yesterday in Benin. We were thankfully, due to the efforts of some of the security personnel who were there, I think what could have been a very dastardly event was averted yesterday.
So you guys were inside, and the shots were against the house. This was John Obigeyegun's house.
Yeah, so I think it's important we get the sequence right, or the timelines right. Some of us members of the Labour Party in Edo State decided to move to the ADC yesterday. The ceremony was slated for 11 o'clock yesterday morning at the ADC Secretariat on Ogbelaka Street in Benin City. And so we went to Ogbelaka Street, the ADC Secretariat. We got there, we were a bit late, and the event started late. But it started anyways, and Chief Oyegun was present. Professor Osereme Osumbo, former governor of Edo State, was present. Mr. Peter Obi was there, present. Senator Roland Owe, leader of the party in Edo State, was there. Quite a number of people were there. And the event went on. But we got information as the event proceeded from sources that are usually reliable that venue would very soon come under attack from some unknown persons. And we were advised. I received that information separately. Mr. Obi received that information, and we were advised to speed up the event and, to avert what those persons thought would be a crisis situation, because it's a very tight building, narrow building, and even a stampede would be dangerous.
It was also a densely populated area.
Yes, Ogbelaka Street is densely populated. So we took that advice on board, and I was received warmly by the party leadership, presented with my party card. Speeches were made quickly, I responded, so on and so forth, and we were ushered out of the building. Those of us who were on the high table, some of the leaders, and then the people downstairs, because the hall upstairs is quite small, so people were in canopies downstairs. So they were also told, event is over, can we start going home? We got into our cars. The press wanted to speak with some of us, and we told them that, listen, because of this development, come to Chief Oyegun's house. We would address the press there. That's what we told them downstairs. This was a decision taken on the fly, because things had changed. We didn't have time to do any press.
Anything could have happened.
Yes, anything could have happened, because we took those. Our sources are usually credible. So we left. As we got to Chief Oyegun's house, spoke with the press, and then we retired into the sitting room to just discuss other issues. We started getting calls that as soon as we left the secretariat on Ogbelaka Street, some guys actually showed up and attacked the venue, attacked people.
True to the tip-off you got.
Yes. So it was a good thing we left. Unfortunately, our people did not leave as quickly as we did. So that for me is regrettable, because my own cousin, driving one of my cars, right, was narrowly missed being hit by a bullet, right? The bullet actually hit the floor near him and he ricocheted. So there was some I don't know, fragments or whatever, but he's not seriously injured, but he's in some pain. My cousin, another cousin, she had a bottle smashed on her head yesterday. The DJ who was providing music at the event was beaten up, his equipment destroyed, his laptop taken. Anybody with the ADC cap, quite a number of them were attacked by these persons at the Ogbelaka Secretariat. So while we were, just trying to digest this information, so the chairman of ADC was there, in the state was there at Chief Oyegun's residence, so he was on the phone, calling and trying to make sure that at least we sent people back there to try and, rescue, save the situation, if I may call it that. Then we had finished. It was time to now leave Chief Oyegun's residence. Mr. Peter Obi had a flight to catch. So we went outside to take pictures. So we're standing in front of Mr. Oyegun's front door. And from that position, you can actually see the street. It's in the GRA, right in the heart of the GRA. next door to Chief Igbinedian's residence, next door to what used to be the Motel Benin Plaza. Very well, I mean, literally a couple of minutes from the government house. So standing there, about to take pictures, we had gunshots. Serious gunshots. It was like major. So the security personnel who were with us now pushed us back into Chief Odiego's sitting room, asked all of us to leave because the gunshots were so close that there was the real risk that any bullet could hit any of us where we were standing.
And the pellets we could see.
Absolutely. So bullets, we went back into the sitting room.
The cartridges we could see.
We went back we didn't see those until about 20 minutes when the security personnel thought it was safe to come out, because the guys, it was like a drive-by. You know, there was a double drive-by. The guys drove past the first time shooting in the air, drove past the second time shooting in the air, and then they left. So when we went out to survey the damage, that's when we saw the spent cartridges. We saw that cars that were parked outside had their windshields shattered, windows shattered, and you know, then Mr. Obi addressed the press right in front of Chief Oyegun's gate. We were all standing around by him, and then we dispersed after a little bit, because he had a flight to catch. We had to go to the airport. We dropped him off at the airport, and he left.
So everybody is safe. No one died.
No one died. Some people were injured. Particularly at the no one was
but
injured.
Getting attention, medical attention.
Yes, to the best of my knowledge. Nobody was injured at Chief Oyegun's house.
But the major assault was on at the Chief Oyegun's residence.
In terms of
in the front,
I would think in terms of firepower, in terms of more shots were definitely fired at Chief Oyegun's house than at the Secretariat. But people were maimed. More people were maimed at the Secretariat.
Okay. So, do you think this could be an internal ADC affair that had escalated into violence?
Absolutely not. I've heard suggestions to that effect. I think it's ridiculous. I've heard suggestions. I'm aware that a day before, 2 days ago, there were some issues at the ADC, restricted to ADC in Edo South. There are some issues there that some are now suggesting is the cause of this violence that we saw yesterday. I totally disagree with that. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Because there are those who feel that all of your coming into the ADC, and that those who said they were the original owners or the original leaders and members of the ADC, and they feel Peter Obi is coming into town and some group of people want to take over the party, forcibly thinking that this is going to end in them being sidetracked, and they got violent, because that is a side of the story that we're getting. And there are those which we've seen a video of a man saying they are the original leaders of the ADC. Why do they want to take over the party? They are not included, no inclusion, they are being sidetracked. Those are some of the conversation that is also on the street in Benin City.
I think it's not safe. It's not safe for us to anonymize these stories. When we anonymize them, we allow generalization to take effect. The issues were clear. The day before, Senator Roland Owie, who is like a father to be, right, was upset that at a meeting called in Benin, he wasn't involved here. To that meeting, he was upset, right? The meeting was taking place at Chief Oyegun's house. At that time, I wasn't a member of the party. This is information I got, and it was on social media. We saw all of that. He was upset that he wasn't involved. But the very next day, at my event, or the event where I was to be received into the party, Chief Owie was seated. Senator Owie was seated at the event. Chief Oyegun was there. These are gentlemen in their 80s. Disagreements occur now and again. But these are men who are tried and tested. They know how to sort out their...
But if the disagreement had happened, it wasn't on the day that this happened. That means yesterday.
It happened, the disagreement happened the day before.
Not on the day.
No. It happened the day before. So it may very well have been
resolved. What is your gut feeling telling you? You're a political actor in this particular scenario. What's your gut feeling telling you about this?
I mean, I like to listen to my instincts or listen to my hunches, right? What I hear is it's a narrative that is pervasive. There is almost zero tolerance for opposition. There's almost zero tolerance, right, for opposition. And I think the message that is being sent, not necessarily to even members of ADC, message that is being sent to those who who would want to participate in the democratic process, the message that is being sent is that this is not a safe space. So you will do yourself a world of good by sitting down at home. That is why you have apathy. That is why you have the reluctance on the part of the citizenry to come out. So you can imagine the individual who saw what happened yesterday in the heart of the GRA at before 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Gunshots being fired. We're 10, 11 months clear of elections. What is that individual going to think?
But what is your hunch is also signaling to you? Who could this attempt or attack be after? Is it you or Peter Obi or John Oyegun?
I'm hoping that the police are investigating. It's not very wise for me to begin to assume or begin to make guesses at this point in time. But I think, and indeed, when I was fortuitously in the morning yesterday, I had called the Commissioner of Police in Edo State, and I said to him, I said, I'm so and so. We're having this meeting. It's taking place here, and he says, well, there's no problem. Everybody is free to hold a meeting. I said, well, this same building, this same ADC Secretariat, Honorable Commissioner of Police, was attacked 2 weeks ago. So it may be wise for us to take extra precautions. So I'm hoping the police is investigating. So I'm not going to begin to assume why or who is being attacked.
You don't think?
But I think democracy.
Do you think you are under some kind of threat? Would this be
it is
targeted at you?
It is possible.
Or you think Mr. Obi?
I think the bigger picture is democracy is under attack. I'm not so some of us, if indeed we get attacked or we are hurt in the process, I think we would simply be collateral damage. Democracy is under attack. In Edo State or in Nigeria? I'm speaking about Edo State now.
And the incident that happened.
What happened in Edo State. But I can extrapolate because we can. When Gbadebo Rosevival, if you remember, was also moving to the ADC, the former Labour Party gubernatorial candidate in Lagos State. If you remember, he came under this kind of attack. He came under this kind of pressure. You know what I mean? From yet to be identified persons. So it tells me, I'm told, I haven't read, I am told that in Kaduna State, in a couple of days ago, some event occurred around the ADC, but I just can't confirm that. I'm still searching for the information. What that tells me is that democracy is under attack. Democracy, in the gold standard, really is participatory. People, of various persuasions are allowed to participate in the process. But when you try to keep some persons out of the process, when you try to keep the citizens at home, that's democracy under attack. So anybody else is collateral damage.
Do you get a sense that you're now afraid of plying your political trade in Edo State?
I think that's the objective. That's the mission.
To shut you out and shut you down.
Not just Olumide Akpata personally, but those who are in opposition. I think the idea is to.
So invariably, you are saying the government in Edo State is a culprit in this matter.
No, I'm not saying that, Seun. I'm saying that those who are not of the same persuasion as we are, you understand, those who belong to
the other side
of the divide, right? Definitely, right? Have an objective, right? And these guys, they have their agents. You know what I mean? You have agents.
Could their agents be acting allegedly on their own volition without necessarily being?
We've seen that happen before. You have very overzealous agents who can decide that they need to impress their principals. We have seen that happen before. But the sense I get whenever in Edo State at the moment, the sense I get, and it's very worrying, is in the last couple of months, reports coming out of Edo State, have created the impression to those looking at us that violence is permitted. That, if you do anyhow, you see anyhow. That kind of attitude. That's
the politics of violence.
Is permitted.
Why do you move to the ADC?
Well, I moved to the ADC because I belong to a group. who believe that a better Nigeria is possible. We were members of the Labour Party. And on the 31st of December, the leader of that group moved to the ADC. And those of us in Edo State sat down. So not everybody in Labour Party in Edo State has moved. I don't want to create that impression. But quite a number of us decided that that journey to a better Nigeria that we think is possible will be best traveled on this platform, the platform of the ADC, to work with our leader, Peter Obi, to try to actualize that objective.
So you're done with Labour Party?
Yes. I have moved to the ADC. Yeah.
You know, in the local parlance on the streets, they say it's a use and dump scenario. Do you feel that that's what you did to the Labour Party?
Oh no. I was an integral member of the Labour Party. I added value to the party. I worked very hard with the party. The election I ran was in 2024, right? We have reached a point now where we are heading towards 2027 presidential elections. Mr. Peter Obi has moved to the ADC. Some of us want to add value and support him, so we've moved to the ADC. Use and dump, I don't think so. There's an objective, and we're trying to achieve that. You will find out that even those who remain in ADC, sorry, forgive me, those who remain in Labour Party, they still support Mr. Peter Obi.
But Labour Party for you is not as viable as you will imagine the kind of political platform you want to belong right now.
Labour Party, as far as the presidential elections is concerned, right, is still, because of the crises that have plagued the party, which thankfully I see have been resolved. Thankfully, we're grateful to God for that. Because of the crises, there is, which I believe is what has informed Mr. Obi moving to the ADC, very difficult to achieve the kind of traction that you need to achieve before the 2027 presidential election.
So do you see yourself going back to the Labour Party?
I don't. I think that's kind of premature. We're the ADC.
So you don't have a problem with the Labour Party. You just think ahead of the presidential election, you need to belong to a group that is viable. Is that right?
I have a problem, right, with the how do I put it? The many unresolved issues.
Okay.
Right, I don't want to spend the time apportioning blame.
An encumbrance.
I have a problem with the many unresolved issues at the Labour Party end that took us so long. Right, we are still in the process. Also, not we, because I moved now. They are still in the process of trying to resolve those problems. I think that is a major problem, and many of us did our best to try to see how we could bring those issues to be resolved as quickly as possible, but it became intractable.
To wrap up this conversation, Mr. Akpata, Peter Obi, in your sense, is your candidate ahead of the presidential election, and you imagine that is the man you will be supporting.
Oh yes,
if he gets the ticket.
Mr. Peter Obi is just as I supported him while he was in the Labour Party, right? Now that he has moved to the ADC, I continue to, in fact, those of us in the Labour Party Edo State have moved to continue to support him, because very well we recognize that supporting him at the level of Labour Party really will come to naught if we are not able to help him achieve the objective of becoming presidential candidate of the ADC. So yes, so the hope, the hope and the objective is that he will succeed in the mission, and in those of us in Edo State will be able to help achieve that mission. Those of us who are coming from the Labour Party. Right. So definitely we want to work to achieve that objective.
Olumide Osaigbonfo Akpata, a former president of the Nigerian Bar Association and the Labour Party governorship candidate in Edo State in the last election. Thanks so much indeed for your time.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you very much. I will do as long as there is a God in heaven.
Yeah,
we'll be protected.
All right. I could also teach you some spiritual tactics of escaping this kind of things.
Back to the wall.
You see me later. Are you a Christian?
Yes, I am.
All right, I'll teach you some some tactics of how to escape spiritually, those kind of things when they come.
I look forward to that show.
All right,
Thank
I'll
you
give
so
you
much.
consultancy after the show.